Hello and welcome to another Rammus video. My name is Frillen, I'm also known as Excalibur, and I'm bringing you a brand new gameplay video from patch 9.12. And here we go. This is a Diamond 3 game on Europe West. And I was thinking about making, I was gonna try to talk a little bit about general tips in this video.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And one thing we can already learn here is don't go to the tri-bush this late, as poor Nautilus did. I was like warning, spam pinging that they could be there, so he shouldn't go there, and then he went there and they got first blood off that. So this game is a little bit of a funny game because the Sire had a ping issue, so she was AFK for a lot of the game and had high ping for most of the game. So it was a little bit of a tricky 4 versus 5. But we managed to pull through. Okay, why red buff? I always start on red buff because Rammus doesn't really need blue buff. Enemy can invade you and take your blue buff, it doesn't really matter. But if they invade you on your red buff, then it hurts. So, oops, I don't want that. And then I always do Krunks because they give the most experience, they give the most gold, and if the enemy decides to invade your top side, then you can just return to the Krunks when they respawn in 2.5 minutes. So as a weak early game jungler, doing Krunks is really great, especially if you have good AoE damage like the tank junglers. Also, it's the fastest way to level 3, just red Crocs chickens, and boom, we got level 3 at 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And at this point, you just really want to look for the easiest gank. And I just noticed that bot lane is super overextended, so here we go. So if there is a lane where you have to think about all this, the crowd control and how far they pushed up, and if you see a lane where you think this is high chance of a successful gank, go for it. Otherwise, just keep farming or go back and buy your the jungle item. She just thinks she can sneak it, but no. It's a bit lucky that I get these scuttles. I typically don't fight too much over the scuttles, especially the first scuttle is not that valuable. So you shouldn't put yourself too much at risk for the first scuttle. The later ones are gives much more gold. The first one I think gives say 77 gold, and that's less than any other camp. I don't know about the experience, I think that's a little bit lower too. So again, right now I'm farming, but I'm always looking, is there any ganks available? And top is kinda, yeah, maybe top. Here we go again. She's level 4. She's ahead one camp. We have priority. Jax is farming, so I'm like, we can fight this. Actually turns into a pretty close fight. spidey.
Resistance is the only standard that matters.
I'm not gonna go back in there. We are low low health, but for some reason they pick off Echo. I'm not sure if I I didn't really want to stick around because I would lose tempo. Elise is already a little bit ahead. I think we were actually 24 CS both of us. Action in the bot lane. But right now I just want to do my second rotation of Rocks and Raptors. Can't really get to top, and top is freeze. Mid is not really gankable. Bot is resetting. We can't do nothing else but clearing the jungle. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, what items can you buy on your first back? Of course, the jungle item. I used to be really happy about the red smite. What Jax? This auto attack, and it shouldn't hit. It looks like a bug, but I'm happy. And Jax is sad. I was saying the red smite. I used to be really fun about the red smite. After the nerfs, I pretty much switched to blue smite. Also, one of the biggest counters to Rammus is just kite. So I think that's why I'm having so much success with this swiftness boots and ghost and chilling smite. Oh, and about the recent nerfs on Rammus, I don't really think it's that bad. Definitely, he's been hit hard and his win rate has dropped significantly. But I've still carried the majority of my games and had great impact. So it's not like he's completely useless. I actually think that Cinderhulk Rammus is hit a little harder than Bloodrazor Rammus. I don't know why exactly that is. But I was looking at some statistics. It's a fortunate fight for us. I don't want to go all the way. I couldn't dive that. Cinderhulk Rammus might have been able to take that tower dive. Right now I just want to spend some gold. I could finish my Bloodrazor already with 2 kills and 2 assists. It's a really good early game. Now I completely forgot what I was talking about. So normally I wouldn't contest Cloud Drake if it's actually slightly risky with 2 versus 3. But it is turning out in our favor. And the reason why I think this was a bit risky is that I have a big shutdown on my head, or a big shutdown, a small shutdown. And Cloud Drake is nice, but I'm not sure if it's worth giving some guy 450 gold. Maybe if I could steal it and die, but kinda worth it. Always contest drakes, but don't give a lot of kills to it. I don't like to trade a lot of kills for Drake. Maybe Infernal I would trade my life for it if I didn't have too much of a shutdown. really sure if Ghost was needed right here. But then again, Ghost is on such a low cooldown, so we can just... feels like it's ready all the time. Okay, we started at 10 minutes and 17 seconds. We're gonna get a little hook from here. 10 seconds. People tend to underestimate Rift Herald a lot. You get so much gold from first turret with this Rift Herald. That's what I try to do in every game. It didn't even take 30 seconds to do with a little help from top lane. But we can't dive Jax right now, so I'm like... I want to spend this Rift Herald for plates, and preferably first turret. And Jax is recalling, so I think we're gonna go for it. It's a pretty... I'm not sure if it was such a good time for Jax to recall. It's gonna cost him his turret. So they're investing a lot of resources in bot lane, and we are getting first turret top. I think it's always worth to get first turret unless you like sacrifice 3 team members for it. Really aggressive on Jax, and it's a little bit too aggressive. It's close, but his helicopter saves him, and I'm baiting poor Camille to her untimely demise. I'm sorry, Camille. I'm sorry. Oh, and this is close too. Jax is like, I'm gonna get you. And I hit him with an auto attack in the air. And he didn't hit me there. It's some strange coding, right? Please. Okay, right now I picked up the Barmy Cinder and Bramble Vest, and both items are just hilariously good on Rammus. And I think it's a really fun thing to, when you go Bloodrazor, you can then get Sunfire Cape, which is actually better versus champions, whereas Cinderhawk is not as good versus champions. So there's some really interesting synergy between the Bloodrazor jungle item and Sunfire Cape. And I really don't get why people keep blaming Rammus for giving attack speed, because he hits so hard. His auto attacks are just... I mean, he can still get like 500, 600 armor without items. And with items he can easily get 1000 armor, and he's gonna turn 15% of that into unhit attack damage. No, is it attack damage or magical damage? I don't remember. I think it's magical damage. Yeah, it's magical damage. That's why he does so much magical damage. I can't really make it top, so I can take a break. Lucian is dead. Our AD carry is having issues, and I'm like, oh, maybe I can one-shot this turret and kill Thresh, but I think he has Ignite there. Oh, that's really sad. At least I'm not giving 1000 gold to 600, 700 gold to an important team member. That's me greeting for that turret. I was like, I can demolish it in one hit and kill him. I'm super fed. But not that fed. It's close though. It was pretty close. Not worth it. I mean, he's level 8. And I can't see what level I am right now.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Level 9. Saya is having connection issues, so she's just falling one more behind, and this game is... I think at this point they are talking about forfeiting the match, and I'm just like, guys, we have 3 really strong carries. There's no reason to forfeit. Maybe we're a little bit in a rough spot, but we're okay. I don't want to chase Trish there because I don't know where Elise is. Oh, I know that she might be nearby. Can't decide. Should I take another wave or recall? Take another wave or recall. Let's go by. Okay, so normally I go Swift, Boots of Swiftness, but in this game I'm like, I'm gonna tank a little bit more. And the Jax is and the Lucian is they're doing alright. So I went for the Ninja Tabis. For the increased dueling potential. They are especially available versus Jax. But of course Lucian too. The thing about Boots of Swiftness is general mobility on the map, you know, rotation, sticking potential, engaging. They actually make your clears a lot more efficient because you just always move faster. But Ninja Tabi, they give a little bit more damage. They sacrifice a fair amount of sticking potential, but it's versus auto attackers, it's just it reduced the damage so much. Ninja Tabis are sent from heaven.
A summoner has disconnected.
So at this point, I don't really feel like grouping up and going 4 versus 5. So I feel like I have to split push. I'm not sure if it's the best idea, but you know, generally when you are always outnumbered, it's pretty hard to decide what's the best course of action. I mean, I can't defend the mid lane versus 4 members, 5 members. I'm like, I can get this turret.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Blue team's turret has
Hopefully
been destroyed.
lure them up here instead of going for them here.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
I'm just gonna give up Drake. Nothing I can do with that. With low mana. Versus full team. Right, so they have an Elise, Red Smite and Twisted Fate, so right now I had the choice between the Catalyst
Red team has
or
slain.
the Megatron Cloak. I could have gone for the Magic Resist. It might actually have been better versus these 2 players with their magic damage. Of course, the raw health is just a little bit more all around useful. And it gives a lot of sustain, both mana and health. I like sustain. I really like... That's why I always go with Ravenous Hunter, because I just hate being forced to back like by these awkward fights. Now I'm being this again. And it's paying off. It's only paying off because Echo is following up. And we still don't have have a Sire right now, so I'm like, maybe actually we could have forced something mid here, but I'm just like, I think I was going for a solo kill on Lucian, but he's smart enough to group up with his team instead of splitting. Okay, so right now, whenever you go bot without teleported at this point in the game, you are essentially asking the enemy team to go for a Baron. So I'm not split pushing bot lane without constantly thinking, are they doing Baron? And luckily I can see that they are trying to collapse on me right now instead of just going for a Baron, which would have been a lot better for them. So better players might have just could possibly have taken Baron right now. Oh, stupid little Rammus. Wanna duel the Jax. This is not supposed to go well, but he wasted his jump, so I can just get him on the turret there. Oh, and that's why Blue Smite is so sweet. And the red buff finishes the job. I've been really lucky with fighting this Jax in this game. I just barely killed him so many times, and now finally they're going for the Baron. And Echo is gonna steal it, which is fantastic for us.
Shut down.
And Sire is lagging, so she's just like a bot. Yeah, that was a game-winning play from Echo there. I don't know if it was the right thing for me to enter Jax's split push. I should probably have teamed up, but luckily this get this magical Baron steal, and we're somehow able to turn this Fiesta in our favor. Yeah, I can finish Abyssal Mask. Oh yeah. So Abyssal Mask, it increases all magical damage dealt in a small radius, so it increases Thorn's damage from Thornmail, Bramble Vest, or Spiked Shell. It also increases the Immolate damage from Thorns, and of course unhit damage from passive and all Rammus' abilities. Just as with any high magic damage melee tank, Abyssal Mask is just really awesome. And they don't really have spam casters. I pretty much only consider adaptive home if they have stuff like Cassiopeia, Kaiser, Orbi, Anivia, anything with repeated magic damage. So Jax is the type of guy who just he just never learns. So here we go again. Didn't hit me with my Powerball, but I don't really need that. I'm beginning to feel sorry for Jax. Luckily my Echo and Camille are doing a lot of work, making it possible for me to do this split pushing thing without getting punished too hard. And I am succeeding in splitting up the map, but I'm not sure if all this Rammus beam button is that good. But actually right now I'm doing another pretty game-changing play here. I'm just like, I'm so many levels ahead, I can just tower diamonds to dudes. Pretty much win that. So, on the one hand, me Rammus split pushing all game, it's risky, because if my team had just been collapsed down, and then it was kind of high risk, high reward, because I was getting this massive level advantage that now I could dive 2 people and kill them both. But on the other hand, you should be careful with this, and at least tell your team to try and not do 4v5s. But then again, I kept dealing with Jax, and then it was Actually, it was 3 versus 4 most of the time because I'm split pushing and the Sire is disconnected. So I'm not really sure how this game is working out. Except for that come again. It's funny. So the thing is, I'm level 17 now, and I think the carries are level 14. And that's a lot of stats. So even though I'm not really getting a good engage or anything, I'll just brute force my way through. That's why I like Rammus.
Red team's inhibitor has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So let's see how we close this one out. I actually have to speed this up a bit if I'm going to. Short cooldown on that fixator, so let's just buy a new one. I think we just bought a new one. It's smart, but not enough. So that will be it for this video, and as you can see, Rammus is still strong despite the recent nerfs, and Bloodrazor Rammus is fun as fuck. I just love it. Hope you'll try it out and tell me if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to make a video about. And in any case, have a nice day and see you around on the Rift.